Ended up cutting that further back because before it was down there I would have had to be a jiggery pokery to bring the pipe around, so I just cut it back again. Sacrificed a 28mm reducer, which wasn't cheap, but oh. Welcome everyone to today's video. Happy Sunday, and for those of you who are celebrating Diwali, happy Diwali. Whilst you guys are watching this video, I'm probably setting off some fireworks, and yeah, just spending some time with family and having a good one. This video itself is actually two installs. I'm just trying to cram them in because they were about 10 minutes a piece, so I'm just trying to put some extra content together because I want to try and get you guys up to speed with where I am at the moment with the breakdowns, especially with it being silly season at the moment. So yeah, we've got a thermal store video installed, which I think I've done one before, which you guys might have seen, or this I know I've done one, but I don't know if I've filmed it, so this might be the first one that I film. And then the second job is my very first install on the new Baxi 830 Combi 2. And yeah, great boiler. You'll have a look at it when you see the video. So either you can skip past the thermal store video and go straight to the Baxi, or you can watch it all. It's about a 20-25 minute video, this one. So yeah, please enjoy, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one. Welcome everyone to today's video, in which we're going to be replacing this old square hot water cylinder with an electric thermal store. So we're up on the 5th floor, and this has basically just not been working properly. So I've got two immersions here. I'm going to be disconnecting them. They're going to be going onto the new thermal store. This is all going to be going out, and the thermal store will sit down there, free up a little bit more space in the cupboard as well, and ultimately it will also give better water pressure as well, because with the thermal store it's going to be running off the mains. Luckily, stopcock down here does turn off, so that's off. We've got the tank draining at the moment. The only slight thing we need to get around is these are separate. So we've got the hot water side here, cold water side there. This drain off's okay because we've got a bath we can drain it into, but the cold side, that's the drain off for it down there. So that's lower than the bath, I believe. So that we're going to have some fun trying to drain the cold side out, but we'll see. Got a bit of 28mm pipework here as well, so I've got some 28mm press fittings where I can reduce it down to 22 where we need to. So literally all we're doing at the moment is draining down, just identify what pipework is supplying what, and then we can get this out, get the thermal store in, and then pipe it up. The biggest challenge is going to be just getting all this out, because we're going to have to cut it in bits and stuff like that. And getting everything up here wasn't too bad, except the 3-meter lengths of pipe doesn't fit in the lift, so I've had to climb up 5 floors of stairs with 3-meter lengths of pipe, but it's all good. It all adds to my step count. Let's get this drained out and then we'll crack on with it. Okay, so we've got the cylinders out, cut the frame out. Luckily it wasn't bolted. I've had it previously in other jobs where the frame's actually been either glued or bolted to the floor, but this was freestanding, but it was just a little bit too wide for the door frame. So angle grind it through the middle. That's been cut out. So now we've marked up what our services are. So got a cold mains coming there. So that's what was feeding the old tank. So this is what's going to be going straight into the thermal store. We're going to get the cylinder in and see how far back in this corner we can put it, and then the pipework we'll try and keep on this side. So I'm thinking, because I know the inlet is going to be somewhere here, so maybe from here, after its non-return valve, I might bring this down across here, maybe do the pipework along the floor here, and then going into the cylinder. Obviously hot feed is going to come straight off the side of the cylinder, so that can hopefully just go around down onto this. So I'll probably cut that back. There's a little ding there, so maybe cut that back a little bit there, put a 28 to 22 reducer on, bring that straight onto the cylinder. And then we had another cold supply here, so this is feeding the kitchen taps. So
what we'll probably do is might leave. Nah, probably going to change all of that actually. Probably haven't figured it out yet, but that needs to link onto there and then onto there. So we'll see what we can do, where we're going to put the valves and stuff to keep it accessible for future maintenance as well. This part was just, well, it was just cut back, it was redundant, so I'm not sure what that is. But so in essence, this needs to go onto here and also onto there. So we'll see what we can do about that and then go from there. Nice, Mr. Hamilton. So we've made a bit of progress. So we've linked out the cold up there. Now Josh is I'm gonna have a bit of lunch. So Josh is gonna connect that cold down there and then back down to them. We're gonna come off of that T at the bottom into the cold feed to the cylinder, and the top 28mm, which has been reduced, that's gonna be our hot supply. So he's gonna have that. This is how bad it gets when we're doing installs of any kind. It's just stuff everywhere. But yeah, I've got the radio, but I can't have the music on because of YouTube. He doesn't like it. I'm gonna have a bit of lunch, just gonna do a bit of pipe work, and then we're gonna crack on. Right, so we've got the cylinder in position, and it's very tight in here, but we've got enough space. Luckily, I've got the angle jaws, so I can still get onto that T. That needs to come round here and underneath onto this, and then the hot, we're gonna spin this blending valve round and then shoot a bit of 22 down, and that's gonna go onto there. In hindsight, probably should have cut that back a little bit more, but then there wasn't enough movement on that pipe, and I was worried I may not be able to get the jaws around this, but I can work with that. What else? The actuator for the overflow kit, that's been wired in, so that just goes into there. Luckily, we had another fuse spur here, which says shower pump on it, so I'm presuming there may have been a shower pump at some point in the past, but there isn't at the moment because the shower is an electric shower, so that's on a separate circuit. So that's wired into there, and then we've got our two immersions here, which have already got heat resistant flex on it, so they'll just wire into these two immersions. What I really like about these thermal stores is everything comes pretty much pre-plumbed, so you even get the lever valve for the cold inlet, got the drain off on there. If you don't have access to an overflow, I mean, we did have an overflow there, but when I came to see it, I couldn't see how low it was sort of coming from up there. But if you haven't got an overflow, then you can get this one with the overflow kit. So it's got an actuator there. So if that senses water, it's gonna energize this actuator, that will shut and it will stop any more water from coming in. I think that's it pretty much for what I need to explain on this thermal store. Inhibitor, we'll just pop this open, and this basically, you've got a fill valve in here. So we will add in some inhibitor, because you need to add inhibitors in these because the water is just sitting there, it's not going anywhere. And then the water that you're actually using from your taps comes up through here, goes, where am I saying? No. That heats up, goes in through here, goes through the coil, comes out blended and out of here. So the domestic water and the water inside the thermal store is separate. Basically, it's like an indirect cylinder, but the opposite way around. So the coil is containing your domestic water, and the water inside the cylinder is actually what's heating up that coil. So I'm going to flip this around, going to get that piped up and then start filling up. And while we're filling up, I'll then start wiring these immersions in. So yeah, it's making decent progress. Right, all piped up. So cold, literally brought it around from there straight into there. Hot's just bang, shooting straight out. I ended up cutting that further back because before it was down there, I would have had to be a jiggery pokery to bring the pipe around. So I just cut it back again. Sacrificed a 28mm reducer, which wasn't cheap, but would end up using more in fittings if I was going to bring it back around from there. So cut that back, put another 28mm coupling and reducer straight into the pot, and now this can manually start filling. So that's going to fill up, and we just let it fill until the water level in there reaches up to there. And also I've got to pour some inhibitor straight into there as well, so actually I'll probably do that first, pour the inhibitor in, let it fill up, let the water level get to there. While it's doing that, I'll wire it in, turn it on, and try and let it heat up. And then we've got the fun task of tidying up. Always fun. Right, thermal store is all done. So it's wired in, it's been on for a little while whilst we've been tidying up, and that's already got up to 40 degrees on there as well. So we've run the hot tab and we are already getting hot water, warm water coming out of it. So obviously that will reach up to 60, 65 degrees. Was it operating temperature, so 75 degrees it says on there, so we'll get to 75 and it will obviously then click off. But this system now provides mains pressure hot water. I've actually had to turn the stopcock down a bit because the water was a bit too powerful, but there you go, that's the hot water pressure now. Before it was just running off gravity, so that's miles better. Customer's happy, they've got more storage space up here now. This is going to be a lot more efficient because right now we've got it on the boost, but afterwards it will just run on economy 7. And we've run the overflow kit with it as well, so that's been wired in to the fuse spur down there. So if that ever overflows, that will basically shut off the actuator and will stop any water going into there. That's mainly if that fails. But yeah, there we go. It's a nice simple install, but very effective in areas where you may not have the right flow rate, or you may not have a discharge to do an unvented cylinder. And this doesn't require any annual maintenance or anything like that, or any servicing. It doesn't require any G3 qualifications or unvented qualifications. It's literally plug and play, cold in, hot out, and you're done. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Catch you in the next one. Welcome everyone to today's job. We're going to be swapping out this disgusting Baxi and putting in the brand new Baxi 830 Combi 2. So first one I'm fitting of these, so it's meant to be pretty much very similar to the existing 830, but there's a few differences to how you do the PRV, and it's now got open therm as well. So I'm going to be fitting a nest, and I'm going to be looking to set that up on open therm for the customer as well, so it should help with the energy efficiency as well. I have to say, I've got a dream setup here for this install. Waiting for Josh to come, he's going to be here soon. But, well, firstly, I've just unloaded everything from the van. It took a bit of time to just get that done. So I've got all my T-stack drawers here. So I've got everything that I need in here. Plugs and screws, etc., etc. Electrical bits, clips. So all that's there. Boilers here. Nice new Velocity work mat. Thank you very much, Velocity, for sending that to me. So just using that as protection over the table, and got my radio. Obviously radio's not on at the moment because YouTube doesn't like it, but everything else I've just got laid out here, so really easy access. Power flushing wise, check this out. Got outside power, so that's already been filled up and turned on, so I'm waiting for that to heat up. And round here, garden tap right there, boilers there, gully is right there, so condense is going to go straight out there. So it is pretty much a dream setup. So I'm hoping it's going to be, well, I know the weather's going to be good, so I'm hoping the rest of it goes well. I've also managed to get parking literally right outside the house, which is usually unheard of in this area. I'm in Manor Park in East London, and it's one-way roads, permit holders only, and it can be a nightmare to find parking. But I got here, got parking right outside the house, so unloading everything has been really easy. Now I'm gonna just do the final, turn off the life support. So that's done. Now the gas, you see it reduces down to 15 there. So I've said to the customer, I'm going to try and cut out some of this backboard underneath it and see if I can pick up in 22 and then take it up. Now, I mean, the gas meter is literally just here. So gas meter's there, and that's in 22 straight. So it's going to be going down there, picking up the hob. I'm hoping they've carried on in 22 and then done 15. If not, they are going to be doing an extension at a late date. So we'll see what the working pressure is like. But when they do the extension, I'll be renewing the gas run altogether anyway when we move the boiler. Water as well. Stopcock is right here. And they've got the blue pipe, which is fantastic. So flow rate shouldn't be a problem. Right, let's get this boiler off the wall, get the power flush on, and then I can hang the new one. Hopefully Josh will be here by that time. And then we can start piping up the hot, cold gas, let the power flush finish, and then do the rest of the boiler. Let's get going. Right, Josh has finally arrived. Power flush is on. So that's been running for, what's the time now? It's been running for about half an hour. Boiler's off the wall. Just top that off. There's a 13 amp fuse in there, obviously. So that's going to be changed to the 3 amp fuse. Cut all the pipe work back where I need to. Power flush machine has gone straight to the flow and returns. Cold is off, I've capped it for now, and now we'll get the template on, get the boiler on there. The boiler on this one, well, the old Baxi, the flue was offset, but the Baxi is going to be a center flue, so we should have a bit more space. Well, we've got plenty of space here because the boiler finished about there, and the Baxi, I believe, is smaller anyway, so that'll fit nice and center in there. So next show, let's get the boiler on the wall, and then we can start looking at piping it up. Right, new boiler is on the wall, so we've got enough space on either side, even by moving it to the center for the pipe work. So haven't quite planned what I'm going to do yet. Obviously, gas, I'm going to try and pick it up in 22 down here if it is. If not, like I said, later on there's going to be an extension, so I'll be renewing the gas run then. What else? So we've got cold mains here, we've got hot here, so the hot can pretty much go from there, bang, straight on there. The cold, there was a filling loop and this, that, the other, so I'll probably, I'm not sure yet, but I might see if I can go from there, take it straight across and up there. I do need to fit in a scale reducer and a shock arrestor, so I'll see what I can do with that. If not, I might do what they've done here, bring it down across, and then we'll see. And then that's the return. So for the return, I've got the MagnaClean micro to fit as well. So again, I'll see if I can get the filter right there and then go straight onto there if possible. If not, I'll have to do something about this pipe, but drop it down and then go from there. Flow should just go across and straight into there. So the PRV on the Baxi Combi 2s have changed. So before they used to be right at the back, used to be up there, so they've changed that now. The PRV is at the front, so we do that last. The condenser moved to the left here as well, so the condense exit hole is there. Now I would like to obviously try and go straight from there, but there's probably going to be power coming in from there, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll see where I can core my hole from to get to the condense. See if I can maybe just core that a little bit bigger and go from there if possible. But yeah, condenser stuff I can figure out afterwards. But now we're going to get the flue done. Josh is going to start isolating the rads to do the power flush, and then I'll start doing the pipe work. Right, we're making some progress here. So the gas is done, the power flush is pretty much done. We've just got to dump it, but the water's off at the moment, so I can't fill it up. But got the gas done. I actually managed to cut it down there first, found 22 there, and then found it there, which was reduced to 15. And then from there, just literally brought it all up in 22. So we shouldn't have any problems with the working pressure because gas meter is just there. Josh is just doing a tightness test, so as long as that's all sound, we can move on. Power flush, like I said, that water is pretty much crystal clear. And I'm also going to be changing, I think, four radiators at another date. So we're flushing the system for now, but obviously once the new radiators are in, it will be even better. So gas is done. Probably going to get the hot and colds done now so we can get the water back on, finish off the power flush. Flue's done. Oh, first look at the Combi 2 on the inside. So they've moved the manual pressure gauge to the inside there. It looks pretty similar. I think they've changed the diverter valve on there. The PRV is different as well. Heat exchanger looks a bit different, but other than that, yeah, loads of room to work on the boiler on the inside, which is great. So I love working on Baxi because they've always got loads of room inside. But yeah, let's crack on with some more pipe work. Josh is having his lunch. I've done the hot and cold. So before the cold was coming off of here with the solder tee, there was a bit of jiggery pokery going on with the filling loop, but we've got to fit the filter in there as well. So basically cut that, brought that tee down to there, brought it across. Josh put a little kick in there for me, shock arrestor, scale reducer, back into there. Hot was pretty straightforward. I just cut it back a bit, little kick there, bang, straight onto there. And now turn the water on. So far, so good. Right, let's turn the boiler valve on. Right, it's looking good. Let's run the cold on there. So this tap is actually really bad. The flow rate is crap coming out of there, but from the garden tap, it's got a better flow. Right, let's test the hot. It's all looking good. Yeah, I can feel that's a little bit cooler. Obviously, boiler's not on, so I've got cold water going through it, so it's all looking good so far. So now that I've done that, water's back on. Josh can carry on with the power flush once he's finished his lunch. I'm going to have a lunch break. He's going to dump the rads out, and then I will start sorting out the flow and returns, PRV, condense, etc. See where we go from there. It was meant to be an easy finish, but it really wasn't. Plan was originally we wanted to fit the filter just under there and then come off the return there, but it was too tight to put it there. Then we sweated off the old flow pipe, which, well, we sweat that off because we were going to try and do the return first. Then we realized we couldn't get the filter in anyway, so we had to do this whole bendy thing, which is pretty much similar to how the old filter was, and I can see why they've done it that way now. And then we couldn't get the water to stop here, so how much time did we lose? For about an hour? Yeah. Lost an hour just trying to get this soldered because the water just would not stop. So managed to get that soldered in. That has gone all the way around. I've checked it, pressed in there. Everything else is done now, so we're getting ready to pressurize the system. Let's do it now. So we've got the pressure gauge there. Let's hope everything is watertight. And thank God for the angle jaws, because that one in there I would not have been able to press otherwise, because this is the thing with press. When you're pressing, you've got to think about what joints you're going to do first, because you can easily snooker yourself, which in this case, I would have snookered myself if I didn't have the angle jaws, but luckily that got me out of trouble. Let's carry on filling up, and then we'll just go around venting all the rads and then see what happens. I'm going to keep this recording so that if there are any leaks, you know me, real life plumbing and all that, got nothing to hide. Just wait for that pressure gauge to rise. Right, that took ages because I don't think the water pressure is great here. And Josh is bleeding a rad upstairs, so that's going to start dropping again. Right, but we're at about a bar and no leaks, which is good. So now I can start, well, not start, carry on doing the finishing stuff, which is doing the PRV, the condense, and the wiring. Meant to be a straightforward swap. It's 4:15. Yeah, lost about an hour on that, which is really annoying, but hey ho, it is what it is. Let's crack on and finish up. Okay, wiring is all done as well. So the way I've done it is I've taken the main power cable from the fuse spur into the nest, then coming out of the nest into the boiler, and I've wired it into open therm as well. So now, moment of truth, 3 amp fuse. Also, I'm going to clean all this up in a bit, but let's just get it turned on and running. So commissioning mode, I've got to hold back and reset together. Actually my colleague told me about this, that it automatically goes into purge mode straight away as soon as you fire it on, which is good. So I'm going to let that do its thing. Yeah, look, de-air. So just let it do its de-aeration. Once it's done, then we'll go through the commission procedure and I'll just have a little tidy up in the meantime. Right, boiler is all done. So it's dark out, so I've had to get the torch out, but it's all been commissioned. No leaks, inhibitor's been added, so we are all good to go. It's been set up in open therm and it's all running like a dream, so happy days. Now, next job here is going to be to change some radiators in the future, and then when they do an extension, move the boiler to wherever it needs to go on the external wall and reroute all the pipework. But for now, that's all up and running and they are set for the winter this year. So thanks for watching, and as always, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and all that jazz. I'll see you guys on the next one. So bye, Josh.
See ya.